Hi and welcome to Schofield's Flowers, the home of Scof on Scof. I'm Steve Schofield.
I'm Chris Fraterrigo. People call me Fratty.
Yeah, I'm Tommy Harkey.
No, Tommy, no, you're a PA. Get back. Get back.
Our PA always trying to steal the show. And during our shows, we're going to be talking about true crime.
Lifestyle.
And sports.
More likely some hockey, though.
Always hockey. So enjoy the show.
And away we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to Schofield's Flowers podcast, home of Scof on Scof.
Ready? Episode 4, take 1.
Get out of here.
Can you clap too?
Yep. Clap. Okay. Hey, where's Scof? Where the hell is he?
1 minute. I think he's here. 1 minute.
1 minute? You've been saying that for 20 minutes.
All right. You can relax.
I have stuff to do.
Right, read the magazine.
Whatever. Typical Scof. Always showing up late. It's all about his time.
Fratty, we going to do this or not?
Wait a second. Hold on.
I know.
Didn't we just talk about...
you know what? We just talked about him, but I did not see Hugh on the Time magazine cover. And how ironic is it that I have a Hugh Hefner robe?
Hugh Hefner robe. Not a robe...
And my smoking pipe.
So not a robe like Hugh Hefner's. Do you have Hugh's robe?
This could be Hugh Hefner's robe.
Okay, so I like that robe, but now I need to know how I can get one like that.
I think you'd have to go visit the Playboy Mansion like I did. I actually got this robe a long time ago. I actually used to deliver flowers from Schofield's Flowers to the Playboy Mansion with all the, we would do standard delivery every week, like a Tuesday or a Thursday, and we'd drop off flowers for all of the entire mansion. And every time I would get there, to be another playmate meeting me. So
that's a rough life you live.
It is. So, it just brings back so many memories about him. A great story that actually is a very true story is that when Hugh was just starting his magazine, Playboy, he came to my dad, and I think it was with his second wife. I'm not really sure because I was still young at the time, but he asked my dad if he would deliver a rose every single day for a full month to the girl that he was in love with.
Wow.
And crazy, right? And he wanted it for $5 every day. And my dad is like, dude, I don't have the time to be delivering, flowers to your girlfriend for $5 a day. It's going to cost you far more than that. It's going to cost you $20. And then so they made a negotiation. He says, listen, I'm starting a new magazine, and it's going to be called Playboy, and I know I'm going to hit it off. And he told my dad what it was, and the next thing you know, they made a deal. My dad delivered the flower himself to the girl, and he became successful. And for the entire career that our flower shop was in business, we were delivering flowers to the Playboy Mansion.
That's incredible. So let's get back to the story, though. How is this potentially Hugh's robe?
Well, as I got a little bit older, I then started to get invited to different clubs. I had a membership like the Faces, which was in Chicago, and then I got a card to the Playboy Mansion, and I wound up, it's an invite deal, and I wind up going to the club for a pajama party, and there's a playmate that I just was like, oh my God. I watched her, and she was just a beautiful girl and had a great bubbly personality and everything. And, all of a sudden, I see her walk by, and, she probably went in and just freshened up, and she had on this robe. And then I was like, oh my God, this girl is absolutely gorgeous in that robe. So I went up to her and I said, I would kill to have a robe like this. Where can you buy them online through the Playboy or anything? She goes, oh, no. This is one of Hugh's robes. And I said, well, what does it take? I think it would absolutely look maybe better on me.
I think I might have to disagree. I would like to say she probably wore it better.
Well, she wore it less than me, I'll tell you that, by the time I got it on. So, I mean, it's just, and then I went to give her back the robe, and the next thing you know, she just said, honey, keep it. And I was just flabbergasted. And, you don't know, the magazine was going and everything, and it was fantastic. And, of course, it's changed over the years. But I was like, I've got a possible Hugh Hefner robe. And feel it. It feels pretty damn good.
That's really cool. And I'm assuming you brought it because we were supposed to have Bridget on, who writes for Playboy in the sex column.
Yep, that's what it was.
I know she let us know, unfortunately, she wasn't going to make it. She was going to talk about women gangsters, such as, Bonnie from Bonnie and Clyde and Ma Barker. So since she can't make it, Scof, I know we've talked about O'Banion a few times here on this podcast so far, and I'm sure plenty more, but you've been telling me about this story you have, but you haven't told us. And I think the viewers would really like it if you could tell us that inside story about O'Banion today.
Oh my God. I mean, I've heard a lot of great stories as a kid. You're sitting around the flower shop and you have all these like gangster types and sports players and newscasters and policemen and firemen sitting around. Our shop was like the corner store where you'd stop by and guys would be smoking a cigar, there'd be some card playing going on and things like that. And, the true story, at least from my side of the family and being that we were involved in it, is that 3 guys came in from Capone's, South Side gang, and O'Banion owned the North Side, and those 3 characters, walked in, and their name was, Frankie Yale and John Scalise, and the other one was Albert Elazimi, I think. I can't exactly, you're calling it off the top of my head here. Italian names.
Yeah,
ask me about
some
an
good
O'Brien.
Italian boys.
Yeah, good Italian boys. Ask me about an O'Brien or O'Shaughnessy or an O'Scofield, and I'd be able to say it. So actually they walked in, and one of them acted as if he had a broken hand, and he had a cast on. And so he had the cast on his hand, and he was the one that actually, so he had his hand in his jacket, because they always wore fantastic suits. And then, O'Banion was always very gentleman, and he insisted on having, shaking the hand. And I says, matey, don't worry, give me your hand, I'll shake it with my left. And then when he shook it with his left, he held on to it, and that's when he pulled out the gun, and that's when he shot him in the chest, and they shot him like 5 or 6 times. And,
wow.
He went down. Yeah, crazy, right?
That's incredible. So I know we've been talking a little bit about, these gangsters on all of our podcasts. I wish Bridget was here to talk about the female side and all those gangsters, but I know you're doing something pretty recently here that, takes on it something else that, is a little more on that female side. Tell everyone what you've been up to.
Well, you know what? I actually went out to, have you been to YouTube? I went to YouTube the other night.
I have not been to YouTube unless you're talking about the website. I've been on there a few times.
No.
Yes,
I'm actually
our
talking,
podcast is on there as well.
I'm talking YouTube, and I went there, and there's a singer that we've been working with by the name of Poppy, and Poppy is just an absolute I can't even say enough about her. She's got millions of viewers. And I don't know if you've seen her, but she's just, I don't want to say a piece of work, but she is. She's going to be, to me, after seeing her perform, I absolutely think that she's going to be the next Lady Gaga.
Wow, that's really cool. And, I was doing something else recently that kind of falls in line with that teeny side. I'm a big fan of Disneyland. I have my annual pass. I go frequently, so frequently that, and I know it's going to be a little different than the motorcycle clubs you're part of, but I'm part of a social club at Disneyland. So we meet up. We typically go to California Adventure, where you can have a few pops. I know we enjoy on some beers as well here, and it's just a bunch of people who love Disneyland, riding rides. We wear 3-piece rocker cutoff jean jackets like a motorcycle club would. But, I've been there, I think, 3 times in the last 4 weeks. I was recently on the new Guardians of the Galaxy ride, which is absolutely incredible. It's the new Tower of Terror.
Yep.
Apparently in the collector's room, if you've seen the movie, that they've now put into this ride is going to update with all the Marvel movies that come out. So right now it's tied to Thor, and they'll put other movie costumes and artifacts in there.
Oh wow, that's very cool.
Yeah,
that's
and then
very cool.
They also have 6 different musics.
Don't you actually have a vest from them?
I do. PA Tommy, can you hand me my vest over there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, thanks.
Tommy.
So
Tommy's one day.
I'll show,
I promise you.
So
you
this
know?
is
one day we'll start paying you.
one day, Tommy. One day. So
That's
this is the
incredible.
jacket right here. See if you can get that. I'm not sure if you can get that, Tommy. Move it over this way. Yep. So that's
fantastic, dude.
White
Love
Rabbits, 3-piece rocker. A lot of other members will have all sorts of pins. I got my Stormtrooper pin that my girlfriend got me,
that's
Day of the Dead
fantastic.
style, and then,
And then what is this?
that's actually a little maze that you can play, like those old maze games, but it's a pin.
Get out of here. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Let me see that.
So, all right, Scof, it's gonna take you all day. It's tiny, but
Yeah.
hey, PA.
I mean, PA Tommy, take it.
Thank you.
No problem, guys.
So, but tell me about that vest. That's
Yeah.
a pretty wicked vest.
Yeah, so the one that I'm wearing right now, actually, my dad made.
Oh.
You know, I know we're going to be selling some leather goods as well. Maybe not this jacket unless you want a custom piece. You know, we'll be happy to make something. Email us, Scof at ScofieldFlowers.com or Fratty at ScofieldFlowers.com, and we'll talk. But it's got some custom liner in here with some cowboy
Wow.
suede. Dad measured it, fit me, so it's custom
Oh,
tailored,
that's
which
fantastic, dude.
I know
Let me see
again.
the inside one more time.
Yep.
Wow, this is that's absolute. Is this what kind of leather is this?
Oh, that's suede.
Wow.
Yeah, with the
absolutely
print.
fantastic.
Can't find it anymore. I was gonna actually make another one completely covered in that, but wasn't able to. But you know, like we talked about before, everything's about bespoke. It's all about that custom,
Yep.
one of a kind.
Yep.
Absolutely love this vest. It's cooling off now, so we can start wearing a little more layering again.
I love it. You know, I mean, I got to tell you, I got to interrupt you for 1 second.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was at the show for Poppy. I mean, it was just amazing, right? You know, she had it totally set up. So she's we went and met with her over at a record company in Beverly Hills, and you know, and her director, Titanic is his name, and he's just a fantastic director, and I just love this girl, and she. As I mentioned, she's going to have a big career. But the cool thing is that, you know, when we got talking, they constantly talked about Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a pass, and they're going there like on a weekly basis. And I mean, the whole idea of that is just for, you know, for them to think about like how to create her own world. And I think, you know, I mean, when I'm seeing in the augmented reality area and everything that's coming out, I just can't even imagine where Disneyland will be in the next, you know, 20 years.
It's incredible. They're adding that Star Wars land. They keep building, they keep adding more. I keep going, so obviously they're getting money from me, so I'm excited to see where it will be in 25 years as well. But something else that's kind of Disney related, the Mighty Ducks, or now known as the Anaheim Ducks. You know, we're talking a little bit hockey here, but
Yep.
you know, we once saw them playing an outdoor game with the LA Kings.
Yep, against the LA Kings. It was a good, you know, it was a good time. It was a tough, you know, read from where, you know, we had good seats. It was a little tough read, but
Sure.
I mean, it brought back such incredible memories as a kid growing up in Chicago.
Yeah, tell me about some times when you were out on the pond in Chicago, because we don't have that here in Southern California.
Oh my God, we had like, you know, if we weren't playing street hockey, we were playing at Gary Bianchini's yard. He had the ice, you know, all set up. We had the boards, the whole bit. I mean, it was just fantastic. I mean, but poor guy, one of the guys I think about the most is Pat Freeman. We used to play street hockey, and he was this really good-looking blonde kid, and, you know, he could dance like nobody I've ever seen. He could, you know, disco dance like you've never seen, right? And so, not on the ice, but on, you know, but he was good with his feet, so we'd play street hockey, and unfortunately, one time, you know, he got hit in the face with a puck, and his eye went crooked. And so he became, the nickname we gave him was the Freak.
Oh my gosh. So he could disco dance to the Freak, and his nickname was the Freak.
Yeah, but so after that happened, I mean, he was like, there was nothing you could do about it. But great guy. He stood up at my wedding, and that's another story I'll tell you someday. But growing up in Chicago, you just lived on the ice, outside. I mean, the streets got so damn cold. You could like skate we'd skate down the street to the park, and then they always had the big rink, and then they always froze the tennis courts for us.
Wow.
And I actually traded my mom taught me how to skate, and she bought me a great pair of figure skates when I was a kid. And when I started playing hockey, you're running across on the teeth of those skates, and kids saw me, and he couldn't skate. He had on a pair of Canadian Flyers, and I think they were sold like at Kmart or Sears. And he was like, I was like, dude, I love those skates. He goes, I like your skates because I can't skate and you can. So give me those damn things.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I know this year's the 100-year anniversary of the NHL, so there's going to be 3 outdoor games. The first one's going to be on December 16th in Ottawa. It's going to be the Montreal Canadiens versus the Ottawa Senators.
Wow, that'd be fantastic.
And then, so that's the NHL 100 Classic.
Right.
They always have the Winter Classic on January 1st, New Year's Day.
New Year's. Where's that at?
So that's going to be at Citi Field in New York City.
Okay.
It's going to be the Rangers and the Buffalo Sabres. So funny thing is the Buffalo Sabres, although they're from upstate New York, they're going to be the home team because the Rangers have a deal with MSG that they have to always play home games at MSG. They can play home games anywhere else.
Right.
So in order to make the game work, they made the Buffalo Sabres be the home team, which is actually the original NHL Outdoor Game for Winter Classic was the Buffalo Sabres and the Pittsburgh Penguins up in Buffalo. And then the third one this year, the Stadium Series, which is a similar one that we went to at Dodger Stadium, is actually going to be in Annapolis for the Navy Academy, and it's going to feature the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Washington Capitals. So definitely got 3 good games. I think in the past they've done like 4 or 5. It got a little saturated. I think this year 3 will be good. They spread them out. And I know I'm excited. I wake up on New Year's Eve with a hangover, but always get myself ready to watch that game.
Well, I think that's more about, the camaraderie and the fan base of hockey, because, if you're sitting in a stadium, even in this day's stadium, if you're in the nosebleeds, you still can see the game. But when it comes to, the outdoor game, it's just more about, showing up, supporting your team, having a beer, and just being part of the community, which I think is really super. That's the biggest thing I got out of it, and I really enjoyed it when I was at Dodger Stadium. Did we go together or not?
We did not. I went with my dad, but I
Okay.
knew you were there. I had a few other friends.
Yep.
Pretty much everyone I think that was into hockey that I know was at that game, just because who would ever have thought of outdoor hockey in LA?
Yeah, I know.
Just the other day it was 110, and here we are in fall.
Yeah, I know, and I think it's going to be 100 tomorrow, so that's crazy. But well, that's it. I think that
I'm out of beer, so I think it's about time to wrap up. So Tommy can go get us some more.
Yeah. And so, listen, I want to thank everybody for listening and watching our show. And also, I wanted to let everybody know that we got a ton of fantastic swag coming up. We're going to have, I don't have my shirt on, but I have some, a great shirt which has our logo on it.
We'll have Tommy pull that up.
Yeah, we'll have Tommy pull it up on our website. Tommy, can you even get me this shirt? It's sitting in the other room, would you, while I go over a few things? Yeah. And then we're going to have actually the Schofield's Flowers t-shirt, which is absolutely fantastic. It's a little more elegant and everything. And then, I have to pull it out. This is, I'm not going to pull it out. You know what I mean.
Not again, Scof.
Yeah. So now we have our coasters, right? I just got in our beer coasters. So the Scof on Scof, which are I have short stories going to be put in the smallest little book. Tommy. Oh, there you go.
Oh, thanks.
Do you want me to be the model? Do you want me to
No.
Get out of here.
I'm the model, Tommy. So anyways, here I am, Scof on Scof. And boy, I tell you, I had a short run. Unbelievable. Went fantastic, right? And then, and then now, All right, I'm going to show you something very special.
Whip it out.
Okay, I'm going to whip it out, and the coasters.
Look at
So
that.
you can get a 4-pack or an 8-pack of coasters, and I mean, they're my business card, by the way, and I'm getting such a rave over them. It's crazy. People are sending them in. They're coloring them. They're posting on their Instagram. So we had our sponsor today, by the way, is Cat and Fiddle. They just moved over to a new location, 742 North Highland in LA here, right at Highland and Melrose. And so stop by and make sure you get, like, what kind of beer is this that we're drinking today?
I don't know the brand name. To be honest, I just picked something up because I know
It's
you're.
something like pumpkin something, right?
It's a pumpkin brown ale.
Wow.
I know you're into those stouts, those darks. So
Love
figured I'd bring something and treat you today, even though you showed up late and made me wait. But
That's all right.
I know in addition to this, we are going to do some leather goods. We're going to have some wallets and some keychains and some other things, maybe some custom made stuff. And I know you're custom making some things for some people too.
Yeah, I've got some interesting things here, so I'm going to pull them out here. So I like my scarves, right? I mean, it's part of my logo if you look at it, right? Scof on Scof, right?
Yep.
And so I have this, this is one of my favorites.
Oh, nice.
And, it goes actually pretty good with the robe, right?
That looks nice.
I mean, here, you have a few.
All right, let me try this one on. I'll
And I'll give you a few. I mean, they're really just wonderful to have.
How do I look?
Here, you look all right, And so,
Am I doing this right?
Hey, do you want me to put one on too?
no,
Tommy.
Here, Tommy, you can have the ladies one. I just see you on the ladies. Come on, come and get it. So here, the ladies ones, I mean, here's the deal. I think you got a few too many, Fratty.
I thought, Tommy, get out of here. Tommy, you are
Tommy's always
opposite.
trying to bust a move.
You are to be
Here.
not seen, not heard.
All right.
Just do your job.
So let's talk about the women's scarves. I already know I look fantastic. So anyways,
I think I look beautiful too. Thank you.
what I'll be doing is a collection of men's scarves, and then I'm also, so where am I getting those scarves? I'm scouring the thrift stores, and I'm looking for like brands that are very big, from anywhere from the 20s all the way up till probably the 70s, 80s, and women's scarves like from Hermes and Chanel and things like that from the 60s and that. But I mean, I just, the ladies, like, scarves are invented back. I mean, scarves came to life back in 1660 from men from France would always wear these scarves, and then they became, cravats, right? And so then, I just fell in love with having a scarf on because it was sort of like a tie. And then, because so many women really like the scarves, I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to go look for a collection of scarves that I really appreciate for women, and I'm going to re-tag them. And I'm going to put them up on my site. And, I want the women to have a chance to buy as many things as the men.
Awesome. Well, head to Schofield'sFlowers.com. Follow us on Instagram at Schofield'sFlowers. And be sure to like, subscribe, and comment on all of our YouTube and iTunes, depending on what you're listening to us on. And be sure to check us out next week.
And thank you.